welcome back to Pyre. I'm Dear Darling, and let us lead our band of exiles to their freedom and absolution, where last time we managed to liberate Hedwyn in the latest liberation rites, and we found out the dreadful, or rather scary news, that the number of liberation rites we have left are numbered. Before we really think about that, we're going to start reading some stuff from the book. So, the Chastity. Those bearing the name Chastity all count themselves disciples of Luce Glorian, the 100 Minds, known firstly for his wisdom, but also cherished for his modesty, integrity, and kinship. Sglorian's priority in forming his triumvirate was to instill in all his subjects a deep-seated deference and respect for the rules governing the liberation cycle. The cycle of the rites seems to be respected to be understood, and needs to be understood to be respected, Sglorian said. Thus the Chastity are emissaries of the cycle. Should they earn back their liberty, then they shall spread enlightenment themselves, and all of us shall grow. And how that has become twisted, I suppose, with Manly, I suppose, being in charge of it now. On kinship, each of us within the eight, besides Imp Halb, we would have perished in the downside had we not found each other and together formed our union. That's actually a good point. I suppose it's coming back to bite me the fact I didn't like playing as Tizo, or I wasn't very good as Tizo. But Tizo probably would have been fine down here in the downside. And now we have limited numbers. Oh well, you know, he's cute. Here in the downside, all are bound, but that which binds us here does have some latitude. We chose a bond of kinship. Our exile took precedence over our differences. The Empire, which has subjugated all of our kind into a tense alliance, should give way into a society in which our differences are paramount. May you embrace your ancient cultures, while jointly forming a great culture all its own. Next to mercy, it is kinship that shall form the bedrock of our commonwealth. So who do we have left? So, I said that Bertrude probably will not get liberated, because she kind of sounds like she likes it down here in the downside. You know, she's got a good old business here. She's got a crush, and Volfred probably won't be liberated, and I don't think because he's a reader. So, Jodariel probably should be liberated, I would say, just at the very least so she can meet up with the people that she feel she failed or something. May, I don't know, because May seems kind of happy down here because people just kind of like treated her pretty poorly up in the Commonwealth in the first place. I don't know. Sir Gilman, I should probably be liberated. We need to know more about his story, actually. I didn't realise this. And Pamela, I don't know about Pamela either, because we don't really know much about her. But we know that she's got tension with her sister. But her sister's going to be stuck down here in the downside, so who knows? Oh, I forgot to check in with Sasha. I should probably do that again. Good morning, everyone. We have the mercy of the stars, and none can say how soon they'll proceed to shine for us again. Let us recover for a while at Moonlight Alcove and decide how to proceed. To Moonlight Alcove we shall go, as we await the next cycle of liberation rites. I wonder if we will get faster and faster. So much so that the last two will just be like 2 liberation rites back to back or something. You would have thought we'd have more time with our vocations or something while we stay in Moonlight Alcove. But anyway, let's see if we can talk to Sasha. Oh, sorry, not Sasha, Sandra. Got your name wrong. I guess her story's kind of done, but I also thought it was kind of done last time. And it turned out it wasn't quite done. But she has no more of those rights to give us a challenge trial, so who knows? Best make yourself as comfortable as possible here for the time, Nightwings. The rites ought to commence again before we know it. Until then, be well. You too, Wilfred. Thus you and your companions remain on the mountaintop, waiting for the stars to shine again. The cycle of rites is ending. The news that Wilfred and the lone minstrel revealed to you now threatens to disrupt the group's resolve. Who most deserves their freedom? Can there be any hope for your revolutionary plan to change the Commonwealth if too few exiles manage to return? The questions hang like a fog over you and your companions as you linger down Mount Elodial. For now, the exiles of the Nightwings vow to stick together. For as many opportunities as they shall have, many moons pass. Yes, we've got to seize every opportunity we have. Even if not everyone can go free, it doesn't mean that many people can't go free. One cold evening, Wilfred finds you off on your own. Snowing? Well, my girl, it's time once more. Come see. Wilfred indicates the sky, and through the snow you see that he is right. Soon all of your companions are gathered. Wilfred regards the group in a steady manner. As you all know, I have refrained from participating in rites myself. This was a long-held choice of mine for a variety of reasons. Chief among those reasons is so that I might direct our plan, free from unwanted attention, both from the adversaries here and those who would oppose us in the Commonwealth. Another reason is, my past experience conducting the rites. It did not end on good terms. Before my time, the Nightwings comprised of 3 exiles. Brighton, a former exile of the Nightwings who conducted the rites along Orlek and Orissa. Orissa, we heard about, and Orlek, who we've seen. Little Tizo was with them as well, still learning in their ways. That's so fast to leave downside. After Brighton regained his freedom of liberation rights, the Nightwings took me in. A story for another time. But one thing, I had capacity to read the ancient book. Anyway, when we next earned our way into a liberation rite, Orlek was anointed for return. He had long been in exile and his horns were beginning to show. We prevailed. The Tortizo snuffed the accuser's pyre. Orlek turned to his freedom. Good job, Tizo. So maybe, you know, let's not be so hard on Tizo being a wasted slot of liberation. You know, he's earned his right. But Saladin prevailed. However, just as the shimmer pool was to engulf Orisa, she shoved him from a precipice and took her freedom in his stead. I'm surprised it works that way. She perished, of course. Only the anointed can transcend the shimmer pool. But she thought the warnings were a myth and paid a price. She was always restless. Alright, well, there's a consequence, I suppose, for her actions. I presumed Orlek perished too. To survive a fall from an allodial, I was left alone. Subsequently, I made no attempts to reassemble the Nightwings, knowing that such treachery, such harm was even possible as part of this ordeal. I, frankly, still do not hold Orisa entirely at fault for what transpired. I hold instead the Commonwealth responsible for what put us in this desperate situation. You know what? Fair enough, actually. It's a pretty messed up situation to even be put in the first place, Tim. I suppose. I resist the urge to think that Rites may partly be to blame as well for pitting brother against brother, sister against sister. Brother, my brother. Wolfred breathes a deep sigh. Now I see that Orlek yet lives, and at a time when our plan is already in motion. And even the stars are fading, perhaps a signal that the scribes themselves know that the Nightwings are divided, and that they do not approve. But I choose to take it as a sign we must act. The scribes have put us in a set of circumstances where each one of us may rise to the occasion. The Nightwings and our plan need all of the help that they can get. And so I have made a decision which I wish to announce here to you all. So here we go, you're going to join us? In the name of the Nightwings, and reader by your leave, I would conduct the rites again. Long have my skills languished in this matter, I admit, although I trust I shall regain them soon enough. While I once vowed never to conduct the rites again, our present situation calls for all our resources to be brought to bear. So if I may be of use during the rites to come, I shall avail myself. That's not the wrong voice. Avail myself. That's all. Now then, our reader shall determine where we are headed come first light. Wolfred bows his head to everyone, others exchange looks, then one by one salute him in return. Wolfred stands ready to conduct the rites again. Welcome back to ranks. Once more do several stars shine bright in the night sky, revealing several paths for you to pursue towards salvation. I don't know what I just said. I said Wolfred might have joined a party. The stars themselves await the will of the Nightwings. Choose your path towards salvation. We get so many party members and we definitely are not able to free all of them. I mean, obviously that was kind of like the whole point, but there's just so many party members now. We should probably choose someone we haven't fought all that often. Kalmir. Tamitha could be an interesting because we want to see Pamitha's story. Okay, we fought all of these people. I think I'm going to choose Tamitha because I'm more curious about Pamitha's story. Am I? Because I don't care about you. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know whose story the fate even pertains to. Apart from their own, I suppose. Sir Deluge is kind of funny, but also, we kind of seen his story. Okay, we're trying to resolve Pamitha and Tamitha, I think. These are all people we fought before, which is interesting. But none that we fought in the Liberation Rite yet, which makes sense, I think. As I take a sip of water. I see it's time we meet again with Tamitha and the Essence. We can make of the Isle of Kalmir at first light, my girl. Let us recover through the night for now. It is too late to do much else. No one to chat to? So now we've got new Wolfred's biography. He's got so much inspiration! So he's a pastor who's a professor. He taught enough history to know that what he was forced to teach was not the whole truth. He's Cassius, suggesting he's contemplative and passionate. His publishing, oh yeah, because he could read. He had a printing press. Undermined the trust of the Commonwealth and doctrine and tradition. By day he was unassuming history professor by night. He operated a small but illegal stamping press of his own design, which used to disseminate provocative ideas concerning how truthfully peaceful Commonwealth might look. Excuse me, when his underground press was last discovered, it was publicly destroyed. He was found cast down at the downside. Taken by Nightwings, he sought to someone with experience hatch a long-term plan for Commonwealth. So he's got all inspiration. So he'll level up pretty quickly. So how does he play? A Sprout at his aura. So he's very defensive, right? Shield. Channels a barrier that deflects adversaries' auras back at them. Oh, it's like a spot dodge. Uses stamina which quickly regenerates. Blink. Vanishes underground, emerging further forward almost instantly. Okay. So we'll definitely give Wolfred a bit of a shot. He's very slow. As slow as Jodariel, so yeah, he's meant to be very defensive, it seems. He's a Jodariel with a bit more hope, so he's meant to be the last line of defense, it seems. Or Jodariel is like the sort of big brute. Not really brute, but you know, playstyle-wise. Afterward, as an exile of a downsiders, reader of this book, and as conductor of rites, you're engaged now in a cycle which has lasted since the dawn of age. Here within this book is offered a summary of all the key figures, locales, terms, and astral phenomena you shall encounter, either first-hand or in passing on your path. To know the history of a downside and rites is to prepare yourself to walk a path towards enlightenment, and then to liberty itself. Should you be free again, remember, reveal not the rites themselves, nor the existence of this book. Alright. I guess. But why? Right terms. Adversary. Opposing band of exiles that stand against your right aura, one's solitary weapon and rights, one's inner strength made manifest. Banishment. Fleeting sense of nothingness induced by contact with an opposing aura. Book is very tome or any other previous precious copies which we together crafted, casting the art of projecting one's aura towards the adversary, enlightenment, understanding gained after conducting a rite, a state of eternal banishment. Oh my word. And it really just is a dictionary. A celestial rite, celestial cycle, where we can regain their freedom. Raiments, flameproof masks and robes fashioned for rites. Rank, a measure of rites, conductors experience in such manners. Reader, one who can decipher text or oversees a triumvirate of rites. Rite, a ceremony through which worthy exiles may regain their freedom. Stamina, a measure of exiles' physical exertion that gradually recovers. Sigil, a symbol representing each triumvirate set to where the Pyre shall burn. 8 scribes. Golgothanian, known as Master General, the Nomad Scribe. He wields a legendary Tower Shield Oath-Taker. So this is a Headwind analog, right? However, Swallow, known as the Cursed of Imp Scribe, he possesses legendary Wings of Misfortune. Tizo. Jeremy Manyman, known as the Alpha Chief, the Curse Scribe. He wields a legendary Jaw-Blade Knee Bender. Bender. So Ruki. Lou Sclorian, known as 100 Minds of a Sap Scribe. He wields a legendary staff of the genealogy Sclorian. So Wolfred. Triumvirates. What happens to the rest of the 8 scribes? Oh. Wait. What? Oh, it didn't display all of them. Oh, we have more terms. Oh, we can't inspect this page. Glory, a measure of one's worth, effects of Pyres. Hope. I like how it lights up when I do this. Hope, one's capacity to see the light in things influences banishment. Inspiration, capacity to gain enlightenment quickly gained from witnessing the rites. Liberation, right, the last rite in a cycle in which exile last regains his or her freedom. Mastery, a blessing bestowed on the enlightened conductor of the rites. Orb celestial, a key object in the rites. Exiles vie for it and use it to prevail. Presence, one's inner and outer strength combined. Influences aura. Pyre, a key object in rite. Exiles use a vie to extinguish one another's flames. Talisman, a trinket bestowing mystic power unto those who believe it can do so. Triumvirate, a band of free exiles striving together to be free again. Quickness, a measure of one's swiftness in the rites. Shimmerpool, a mystic means to return to freedom only the worthy can enter. Mortal Milith, known as the Wild Witch, the Crone Scribe, she was a legendary lantern, the flame of the first hag. So this is Bertrude. Solian Man, known as the last of his name, and the Demon Scribe, he possesses the legendary black nails of the fallen emperor. That's Jodariel. Trieste tribes, known as the Blessed Born, and the Harp Scribe, she wields a holy scepter of a Sarian Empire. That's Pyre. And Underking Ors, known as the Caesar Giant and the Worm Scribe, he wields a legendary bladed male silverfish. So there's not one for. What's this? There's not one for who's missing? May, I suppose. I suppose she's more like a prophet. Right? Is that everyone? Hold on. We liberated 3 people. We're 6 in our party, so that's 9. So yeah, May doesn't get a scribe herself. Oh, we didn't read Triumvirate. Q says Triumvirate formed by Nomad Golgothanian, found on his justice and loyal. Sigil, Shattered Scale. Beyond is eternally expelled, not true Triumvirate, Sigil, Forked Star. Chastity, Triumvirate formed by the Sap, Loose Glorian, found on integrity and modesty, Sigil, Bloomflower. Distance, Triumvirates formed by the Imp, Halb. Found on difference and conviction, Leering More. Triumvirate found by Harp, Saint Trieste Tiphys, found on liberty and piety, Sigil, Empress, and Piety. This is very much for law people. I mean, I do like law, but it's a bit hard for me to remember all these terms. The Fate, by Kurt Joyamir Manymain, for Faith and Honor, Awakened Eye. Nightwings, formed by all 8 scribes. Adversaries, other triumphs are judged. Cresting Moon, Pyre Hearts, by the Worm, Underking Oars. found on courage and passion, burning heart. Triumvirate formed by demons, Solia Myrrh, found on strength and mercy. Black nails, withdrawn. Triumvirate formed by Crone, molten myth, found in the truth and knowledge. Martyr Mountain. Oh wait, hold on. I wonder if the triumvirates now are meant to sort of subvert the actual triumvirates themselves right now. Because the Pyre hearts founded on courage and passion. It's meant to be, so it's meant to be the person on our team who embodies these things, but the actual team doesn't. Because it's not like Sir Deluge is particularly courageous, I would say. I guess he's a bit passionate. The accusers, I don't remember who do it with chastity, integrity and modesty, definitely not manly. Would that fit Wilfred? I guess? I wouldn't say it's his defining traits, but I wouldn't say he's like against those traits. The dissidents. Which one's it? Who's the dissidents? Dissidents. Ah, the Curs. I mean, I guess that's about difference, maybe? I don't really know. Downside regions. Denizens of... Oh my god, this is too many. I'm not going to read all of this. I'm gonna be totally honest. This is a huge index. This is ridiculous. Oh my god, I was gonna read all of this. I'm not gonna read all of this. Unless people really want me to, but you know, I'll probably see your message far too late. So you can pause and read them yourself if you particularly wanted. But that's just a bit too much for me for things that we already know. So we'll continue on at. Oh.
I do so hate to thusly contact you, O reader.
Hello, voice. What's up?
Yet an awful rumor reached me recently.
What happened?
That you have within your retinue a traitor to the
Who?
Nightwings and the Commonwealth alike.
Who's a traitor?
You would never harbor such a traitor, now would you?
What?
I trust your time within the downside would have taught you that.
Who are you even talking about, Wilfred? What? You rise after a fitful night or slumber. Somehow the voice, which thus as far has reached you only with rites, has found its way into your sleep. As well, you shake free of it. Who cares about the voice? Like, I talk over him every single time the rites commence anyway. This time at Moonlight Alcove has made everyone restless. The group is eager to set forth at your command. Well, let's go. So, we'll probably be fighting, the dissidents in the next liberation, right? Soaring far above Sklorian shore, you notice Panther gaze down at frozen cliffs below. A frozen oasis tucked between the chaos of a waking wind and the sacred mountain Alodial. A place to pause and reflect before a grueling mountain climb. A damn place down there. I like it least of all. I think among everywhere we've been. I'm thankful that has been no reason to return. Reminds me of my home, is all. The highway remnants. We all grew accustomed to the thinner air amid the cliffs that reaches the clouds above your Commonwealth. But it was not the nicest place. Little wonder that my sister settled for a rather warmer base of operation in this land, there by the nest of Trieste. Anyway, I'm pleased to have spent a little time as possible near here. Let's fly on by and go about our business. Sure. So it reminds you of home, 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 home. You got nothing to say, Chastity? Alright. Oh, Waking Wood. As a wagon soars above the skies of Waking Wood, you notice Wilfred appears lost in thought. You cannot sense straight away what he's thinking. And do not mind me, reader. It is simply that being here in this vicinity, it brings back a lot of memories, and gives me much to ponder. I hid within those woods for many, many years, making preparations for our plan. I cast aside my raiments, and became untraceable, and there I waited for the plan to germinate. So it means a lot, now, to be here, above that place at last. Quite a view, wouldn't you say, my girl? Hello. What was that? You ever hear Sir Deluge and fell on panic as his fellow worm knights attempt to calm him down. Oh, what do you mean it was the Nightwings? We're not to face him in our coming right again, are we? At some point he realises your wagon is aloft beside his own. You know what Nightwings? This night shall not forgive us transgression. Once we prevail against whichever adversary is doomed to face us next, we shall come for you. Why must this night be forced to fly so far above land and sea? I feel kind of... Hey! You actually bumped me there. You know what? Fair enough. Guess I kind of deserve it. I have been bumping everyone. Again, we return to the Isle of Calmir, hidden in the storms. I met very few who know of it at all, much as I walked upon its stones and stands. The disconcerting tales of the demise of Calmir Ropecaller, who met his end here on the isle. Imps that swarm and breed across this place today seem not mind. Having paid witness to the rites firsthand, we have become rather obsessed with it. I sometimes wonder if it is more difficult to conduct our rites with such a boisterous audience. Maybe Essence find our way shortly, so that the imps may have the contest they desire. So we can land here, find a rare precious flora, or here. Falcon Ron may be passing through here with a special offer. Sure, why not? I don't know if we got much money, but trade with Falcon Ron. Run. Bing. Sandra, you got anything to say? Nope. Never wants to talk to us again, fair enough. Wilfred's got something on his mind. There. Wilfred appears to have finished sealing some sort of document. He smiles as he approaches you. Hello, my girl. Was just on my way to make a drop. Report a bit of progress our supporters on the other side should like to know. It's not clear to you, as yet, exactly how Wilfred is able to communicate with agents in the Commonwealth. I thought it was using the drive imps. I mean, that's how we communicated with people who we've, freed. We have our ways of making certain that such messages manage to make our way with whom they need to reach. Most of the time, at least. It's not exactly the most dignified of messages, but the message imp is as hard-working as the rest of us. Or dare I say, more so. Yeah. One of Wilfred's couriers tasked with delivering news to and from Commonwealth. Most imps lack capacity to do the job. They of course cannot traverse the outer boundaries of the downside, but they can squeeze much closer than any of us. Wilfred offers to tell you more of his process. It seems that he's been using certain imps to relay messages to his agents of the Commonwealth for some time now. From that point, we depend on certain other means. A trafficker like Ruki would likely be familiar with them. Then, my agents intercept the messages as they arrive. The messages are coded, in the off chance they reveal themselves before unwanted eyes. But even still, my agents put themselves in great peril there, supporting our cause and our plan. I cannot ask for a more dedicated bunch. A shame we cannot meet them, separated as we are. If we succeed in our endeavours, it shall be thanks in no small part of them. How did you even reach out to them in the first place? They have identified hundreds of citizens grown loyal to our cause, found hidden corners where they can speak freely. Their goal is to grow in numbers while remaining safe. For we cannot resist the Commonwealth, if too few citizens stand with us, whether due to apathy or fear, or lack of willingness to see our nation as we do. Some of these agents I have known for many, many years, since long before my exile. Many were former students from my days of teaching Commonwealth doctrine. It was clear then who among us did not take the common view. These days I report to them our progress, and they in return report theirs back. From that assessment I update the estimation of our planned success. Our chances of success increase substantially each time we liberate one of our own, but those loyal to us in the Commonwealth slowly gather strength regardless, knowing our efforts. Thus we do inspire each other, not unlike the dynamic which I see among the Nightwings here. Now good afternoon, then, reader. I have a delivery to make. Fair enough. He strides out wagon bearing a sealed message. As we trade with Falcon Wrong, you shall likely have to suffer his small talk, but you may procure something useful in exchange. Alright. Here in the murky waters of a bar brief, you encounter a familiar face, hawking his wares as always. He sidles right up to you. Oh, hey guys. Funny running into you out here. You guys alright? But anyway, I got to say, do I just got the thing for you? Mint condition. And although I haven't seen it exactly, I'm really sure it's something good, okay? So you want this thing or what? He's offering a sealed talisman. No telling what it is for certain, but you sense its power. Such an artifact would likely cost much more once on display. Sure. Your 42 soul. Oh. Falconron's best offer of his item is 100 soul. Well, had to decline. You cannot afford Falconron's asking price, knowing full well he will not budge on it. You decline Falconron's offer, but he just shrugs and grins as is his custom. That's okay, you guys, because somebody's going to buy it anyways. Let's go find him, Dad. I mean, we probably wouldn't use it much anyway. He goes on his way, whistling some sort of grating tune. You return to a wagon and consider which of your vocations to pursue. Let us mentor a companion. Let us mentor probably Wilfred, right? He's got the least XP, right? Certainly, I would appreciate your point of view. Wilfred came to somewhat stronger grasp on how to better pass the celestial orb through the strength of will and trust in one's triumvirate than through dexterity alone. He nods in understanding. Cool. It's been a while since my last outing of the Rites. Begging for your continued patience as I recollect the way. I mean, you're doing great, seeing as you're not even in the Rites yet. So, legacies of 100 old mines, enhancing a sap's ability to spawn saplings and protect his triumvirate. Wherever traveled, loose glorian, he planted his roots and spread his wisdom to all who would listen. Or grasp of a philosopher, Rites marking masteries enhancing sap's triumvirate's ability to persevere in a right. The words of 100 minds helped his kin make peace with many mysteries and dangers they faced. Guardian sapling. If Wilfred is banished, a sapling shall automatically spawn on his pyre when he returns. We've seen it's not been particularly useful. Especially since Wilfred's meant to be the last line of defense in the first place, right? It is said that the strength and wisdom of the age is always followed in root steps of loose glorian. After casting Spout, Wolford spawns faster than usual and gains a larger aura. 100 minds knew that all of her knowledge of his ancestry was there to guide him. Sturdy sapling, unstable sapling. After casting Sprout, Wolford may remotely detonate a sapling in an aura burst. Hold B to cast Sprout and press Y to detonate. Epiphanies about the very nature of a world occurred with regularity to loose Glorian of 100 minds. Numbing Gust. While Wolford and his allies are banished, adversaries are slowed and cannot use abilities. Okay, so that's just like meant to be like a, oh no, when we might be scored upon because we've all been banished. Wolford cannot gain this mastery yet. The winds of change shall scour the land from whence we came, but leave us land untouched. Once per right, if Wolford's adversaries extinguish his pyre, it is restored by +10 instead. Okay, total set restored attacks with similar effects. If Loose Grown, who ushered in a modern age and showed his people fire flame, need not be feared. Final Kindling. Guardian Shield. When using a shield ability, Wolford shields his allies as well. What? That's pretty cool. Hold X to use shield during right. He fiercely explored the other side and was among the first to venture down the river that later took his name. So we could put other people much further out and we can still protect them if we're playing as Wolford. Wolford permanently gains +5 hope, hastening how quickly he returns from banishment. The great sap scholar, having fathomed every thought, still always smiled when he met someone. Steadfast hope. Miracle Kindling. Once by right, if Wolford's adversaries extinguish his pyre, it is restored by +40 instead. Okay, this seems like the strongest one. A stars well hidden from us on the other side here shall now reveal themselves loose Chloriantimer. It's basically a better +40 to your pyre because if they overkill the pyre, so if you add +40 to the beginning of a right and no, hold on. This way, if they overkill, I think that overkill damage is nullified, and then we get +40 again, compared to adding +40 at the beginning, where if they do, the extra damage will still go through. So we're going to go through this tree. I think this seems like the strongest tree from my playstyle personally. At least the sapling doesn't seem very good to me, from what I can tell, so I might be wrong. And I probably am wrong, because I'm not very good at this game still. But, well, I don't know. I feel like I did Headwinds right okay. A most fascinating aspect of all of this, one I endeavour to continue studying for a long time yet. But I like having a defensive member on the team. So we'd have both Jodario and Wolford for defensive members, Gilman and Pamathor for very aggressive members, and then May and Bertrude for sort of like in between. So hopefully we can make... So our team is going to be May, Pamathor and Wilfred, and the other will be Bertrude, Jodario and Gilman, probably. Continue on our journey. I don't think we'll have enough time to do this next liberation, right? But we'll at least get there, you know, have a conversation and whatnot. Because presumably we're going to talk to Pamathor before we actually do the actual rites against Pamathor, but I may be wrong in that regard. Sorry, having a sip of water. Wagon comes to a sudden stop after a near miss with someone or something that got right in its path. Pamathor? At first he's seen no sign of whomever, whatever it was, but then a voice rings out from the side of your path. With a friendly yet somehow aggravating tone, leaves little room for question as who it is. Falcon Ron. Hey guys, so maybe watch where you're going a bit more next time, I guess. You must have scared Dad half to death. I mean, just look at him. But it's good running into you like this because I got for you a real special deal. We've got some pretty out there stuff on hand and it's been sewing us a bit, to be completely honest here. Something about, I don't know, but Dad just hasn't been himself. But once we open the shop, why these little numbers, they're gonna go flying off the shelves. Yeah, and you can have first dibs. All you gotta do is give us a lift because you're headed to the Isle of Calma, right? Just drop us off when you get there, okay? Sure. The Black Wagon does not provide for you the most spacious accommodations, but it may have room enough for Falcon Ron, barely, at least for the short remainder of your trip. On the other hand, you sense a troubling energy from whatever strange artifact he is transporting right now, and wonder whether you should get involved. Tell him to get in. Slug Market proprietor seems in need of assistance. The thought of having to travel with Falcon Ron fills you with nameless dread. I don't have anything against Falcon Ron, so get in here, buddy. For your fellow exiles exchange cautious looks, you invite Falcon and Ron to climb aboard. Oh great, thanks guys, I'll just squeeze right in, this is probably, we'll get money, but we'll lose stats for the next ride, I guess. He does not. Dad, come on, put your back into it already. Eventually Falcon Ron manages to get on board, as he prepared to set forth again. Falcon Ron has joined you, welcome on board for now. Sure. I mean, that was pretty quick to the Isle of Calma. After what felt like an interminable trip, during which Falcon Ron did not even once cease to speak on matters relevant only to him, you reach your destination. Anyway, thanks guys. Remember what I said, these fingeries I got here, you got dibs on them. If you come visit me and Dad, now I'll be going, so be seeing you, okay? Whether from Falcon Ron's ceaseless drivel or the ill effects of his cargo, everyone is left feeling out of sorts. -5 glory! Oh no! Actually, that's not that bad. We just had to score one more time, basically. Try not to think about it. That's really not as big as a deal as I thought, as I made it out to be. Really? We still can't talk to anyone? I thought for sure Pyre would try and talk to us. What's on your mind? Nope. But we'll at least see what you've got for us. Hey guys, thanks for helping me and my dad back there. We really owe you one, and so as promised, I got something really, really good in stock for you right here. He pauses for a dramatic effect then. He reveals to you several artifacts. Black Hoof, Cursed Talisman, but has 100% more stamina than usual but cannot grasp the orb. Okay. I mean, that doesn't sound very useful. Black Heart. After getting banished, Bearer either returns with infinite stamina or is a fast-moving howler. Okay. I don't know what a howler is. The bearer's aura remains while grasping the orb but cannot be cast. Oh! One of 3 scattered remnants of a thrice cursed demon who roam the downside in a state of madness. That is really good, isn't it? Who would that be best on? Someone who has a decently large aura. Oh, this would have been so good on Tizo. Because Tizo's cast is definitely the worst of all of them, I think. Well, at least I'm the worst at using it. Oh well. I mean, the only one person we can equip this on would be Wolfrid, seeing as we kind of like using their signature artifacts instead. They emanate with energy that cannot possibly be completely healthy. Nicer. You guys got first dib on these bad boys. I can tell you what, they're going to go fast. Probably won't use them though. Oh, they're very cheap though. Cannot be used by worms, harps, or crones. Why? Probably because their aura is not like a round aura, right? I don't know what a howler is, so it seems a bit pointless. This also seems incredibly pointless. This seems like the best one. We'll buy it. Why not? I don't know if we'll actually use it, but... Ah, great, you guys. I knew you were discerning customers. Now you enjoy that one, okay? And remember, I still got others too, and you can buy them if you want. Though, these ones, they are really popular, so no refunds on these guys, you understand. But they're real good, so there's no chance you're going to want to pawn them off. This can only go well. I'm not going to buy those, I'm going to be honest, though. I'll sell you this stuff. The downberries. Can't afford any of that. We might as well just sort of sell these because we're not going to use them. Gold's bracer, we're not going to sell. Maybe we'll put this in the top corner. And these are the two I tend to use. We probably don't need that one anymore because... Or we just don't, you know. Wolfrid is not going to be the one who's going to score anything. Must be a lucky day, or I don't know what, Dad. We'll save it right for next time because it's been half an hour. But interesting. It's at least a very compelling idea. But for now, we're going to round off this episode here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Pyre, and I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, description, shares, I greatly appreciate it. Join my Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.